Imagine living in a country where you feel unwelcomed. Imagine living in a country where you feel unsatisfied with the events that are happening within your country and your lifestyle. And oh my god, imagine not having perfect emo makeup. Imagine living in a country where you are living in constant fear. And imagine all of these are in one Middle Eastern country known as Syria. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience and how I nearly got robbed and held by knife point. And I hope YouTube doesn't take it down because of violence. So trigger warning for anybody and trigger warning for YouTube. This video contains violence and threatening, and I hope that you feel welcomed, and I hope that you don't feel uncomfortable with the events that are going to happen in this video. And if you don't want to listen to me ramble for like 20 minutes or like 6 to 10 minutes about it, please click off the video because I don't want to make you uncomfortable. But today, here's the story. Today I was wearing this jacket. Yeah, I'm making an entire video about this Spider-Man jacket. Yeah, because I got held at gunpoint, not gunpoint, knife point, where someone was threatening me with a knife for it. Today I went as, I don't know how to explain it. Today I went to go out and get groceries because my family isn't home because my sister is going away, is going to travel. And I decided to stay home so I can guard it because I'm turned 18, I'm a legal adult age and all that stuff. And imagine that when I see someone who's like, yo, I like your jacket, I'm like, thanks. So this guy that I previously was friends with, I don't talk to anymore because like I find like I'm not friends with him anymore, and I don't want to say anything mean about him, even though he kind of deserves it, but we'll get into that later. Um, Imagine how when he started following me, I didn't bother. I was like, I had my headphones on, I was listening to music, I was listening to all that stuff, and I was just walking, minding my own business. When suddenly he stops me, he's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, fine, thanks, I guess. I like looked at him up and down and then like kept walking. So like he followed me, like, hey, wait up, please. And he was with another friend. I'm not gonna say their actual names because I don't want people harassing them or finding them online and harassing them. But when I started, like, I got groceries, I saw him waiting for me outside of the grocery store or like the market that I went to, and I've decided to take an alternative path home. Alternative, wow. I've decided to take a different path home to um like you know that feeling when you want to go home but you don't want to go home because somebody's following you. Yeah, I did that. Since he was following me, I decided to not go directly home, and I've decided to take a different path, and I've decided that I won't go back home unless I lose him. So yeah, I decided to take a different path home, and I started like taking the long way, like a really long way to confuse him because I kept looking back and he was like following me. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is he following me? Why are you following me? That was pretty weird, and I didn't understand why he was following me in the first place. So I just kept going and kept going until he like finally caught up, and he was like, dude, I want to try on your jacket, dude. Like, and Aaron, since he's Islamic, which I don't have a problem with Islamic people because I live in an Islamic family as a pagan and Hellenic polytheistic, he was like, I worship Allah and all that stuff, and I go to a mosque, like, and all that stuff. Which, like, firstly, using a using your religion as a way for you to rob people is kind of wrong. You don't tell people that you go to a mosque so you can rob them and run away with a jacket that they have to chase you down with and let people stop you physically, and like being held at knife point for it. Secondly, if you use your religion for anything, then like to defend yourself or defend your wrong actions, then that's just wrong. It's just an opinion. But anyways, he was like, I was like, dude, I don't want to go. I don't want to give you my jacket. It's my jacket. And he was like, please, come on. I want to try it. What's the store? I told him the store, like the place of the store multiple times. And I didn't tell him the actual store because I felt really uncomfortable. Because like, I didn't want this creepy 14, 15-year-old, like, yeah, 14, 15-year-old, by the way, in Syria. 14, 15-year-old to like chase me or like go into the same store as me, and that's like the person I buy clothes from, what I do and what I buy and all that stuff. So like I was like, dude, I'm gonna tell you the name, and I told him the name of a different store because again I felt uncomfortable and all that stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, but like let me try it, please. What if he doesn't have the color? I want the color and all that stuff. I was like, dude, please leave me alone. I was seriously so uncomfortable, and I felt like I don't know, I just felt really uncomfortable, and I didn't feel safe with him and his friend, by the way. So then when I walked out, I was like, dude, stop! I like yelled it out. I actually like yelled stop. So what he did was so here comes the trigger part again, violence and all that stuff. He pulled out a knife at me. Not just like any knife, a combat knife, a straight up combat knife. And like he pointed it at me and it was like, listen, you're gonna give me your jacket right now or else I'm gonna cut you up. Where? From where do these 15, 16-year-olds get pocket knives from? From where do these children, by the way, a minor, child, that shouldn't be carrying a weapon, where does he get a weapon from? I am legally 18 years old, by the way, YouTube. I am legally 18 years old, and I don't even have a weapon. Not even me. I'm gonna buy one today, but like, I'm not gonna buy a weapon, like a massive destructive weapon. I'm gonna buy like a simple pocket knife for safety. But where does a child have such a weapon? That's a child we're talking about. Has this Syrian safety and police not have checked children who carry weapons? Best part is I found like I took a glance of a cigarette, not a cigarette, a whole cigarette pack with a 14-year-old child. And that genuinely upsets me. But back to the story. He basically held his knife at me and it was like, if you don't give it to me, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna cut you up and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, you seriously pulled out a knife over a jacket? Because like I wasn't intimidated. Like the fuck is a 14-year-old with a knife gonna do? We are in the street. We were in a public street, so there was people around looking at us. And I was like, hey, what do you think you're doing with a pocket knife at me? So he put it away, and I was like, after walking a little bit, he's like begging. So I finally gave him the jacket, which was, my instincts were telling me not to do it. Don't do it. But I did it anyways. So my instincts told me, don't do it. But I was like, fine, I'm gonna do it. So I gave him the jacket. He like put it on. His friend walked away. Next thing I knew, he ran with my jacket on him. And I ran after him yelling, robber, he's robbing me. He's like, and he was like, shit, he started running faster. And so like people stopped him, like they caught him and like we pinned him down to the floor. And like I ripped my jacket off him. It's not like the straight. I ripped my jacket off him and told him, next time you try robbing someone, make sure you don't do it in a public street. And that's the thing. I'm not traumatized, but I need to ramble about it because this genuinely upsets me how a 14-year-old with an iPhone 17, he has enough money to buy a little, not iPhone 17, that didn't even come out, iPhone 16. That child's parents have enough money to buy him such an expensive ass phone while I'm on an Android, which I don't complain about. I love my phones, both my phones. There's another one over there on my bed. I love both my phones. But the fact you had to rob someone you previously knew for a jacket makes me consider that you are probably poor. Like, I don't understand why you have an iPhone 16 and still chose to rob someone because you felt like it, no, because you liked the jacket. I seriously hate this country. I hate living in it, and I hate how it makes me feel unsafe. And if you're still watching, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna end this video right now because I'm still home alone and I wanna do home alone things. Not like weird things, just enjoying being home alone. And it is honestly really fucked up how people do that. It is fucked up how a 14-year-old could like have enough courage to rob someone. When I was 14, I was deadly afraid of going outside of my home because I felt like people are gonna judge me. Now I'm 18, like 4 years later, but like I still fear the fact that people will do anything to get their stuff. Whether that's buying it, robbing it, killing someone over it. And don't get me started on the new entire government thing because the war is still around, I guess. Our president made the electricity bill 10 to 12 million Syrian pounds. So yeah, that's the thing. But anyways, that's like a political video, not a share my story video. So thank you so much for watching if you did watch it, and thanks so much for staying with me for my entire video, and I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you can subscribe to my channel so I can become like, so I can post actual skating videos because I am planning on buying a skateboard and like learning skating in summer. And like make vlogs, be happy and all that stuff. So right now I'm just posting random stuff on my YouTube channel, but I will make skating content. And thank you so much for watching my video, and goodbye!